I was 19 years old. I was a sophomore in college. It was in 2015. So it was about, it was 7 years since my 7.5 years since my liver transplant. But yeah, during that time I was literally I was a college athlete. I was taking my classes. Everything was normal. And then all of a sudden one day I'm putting on my socks before a workout and my legs are a little bit swollen. I'm like, oh, this is kind of odd. And then it just got worse throughout the week. And because of that, I went to the campus clinic. This is really weird. And I talked to my friends, like, yeah, that doesn't look right. And so within probably a week and a half, I saw a couple of specialists and they said that, you might have hepatitis C, but we really don't know. And there could be something called Wilson's disease you might have too. So they did a bunch of testing and it figured out it was Wilson's disease, and it only affected my liver, which is good. It usually can affect the brain as well. But luckily it was just my liver, so it was like the solution was, you need a liver transplant. I was like, oh, look, well, only old people get those, and I can do that in 20 to 30 years. But there's like, no, you need it like right now. Like you have like 6 months to live, kind of deal. So I was like, oh my gosh. I remember crying. So it was, it was tough to hear, but they said like your life will return to normal after this. So I was like, that's when I have to have that hope, and obviously that faith too, because it's one of those things where, hey, like you can get this transplant, you'll live a normal life after, but you won't really know. In high school, when I was trying to discern what I wanted to do with my life post-college, the brother that I was going to spiritual direction with, he gave me a prayer, and it said, God, open and close doors for me, so you show me what path to follow. I only want to follow you. And I think praying that junior year, senior year, college, it was pretty easy. When I got diagnosed, it's like, okay, well, he's opening a door for me. I gotta follow it. Yeah, so it was during that time, I think it was probably tough to like accept, but at the same time, like I knew this was the way to heaven. I would, present moment awareness is a thing I try to practice in my life because, raising a family, it's kind of scary to think what, the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years hold as my kids are growing up. And instead of thinking into the future, it's like, how can I make a difference today instead of, what's going to happen in 10 years? It's like, well, if I make a strong spiritual leader as, my son or my daughter or, whoever comes later, now, then I won't have to worry about them. Present moment awareness, suffering are two huge things that help me in my faith story. And now, being a father, being a provider, I just have to, keep that going and teach my kids that, to just enjoy the present, have a lot of faith, and just, make sure God's always first.